So the Vault is workshop and storage, primarily for cherished cars. We don't really limit ourselves just to classics, sports cars, that sort of thing. We find creative solutions to impossible problems.
Welcome back to another video. We're over at our good friends, the Vault Europe, and we've worked with these guys for years and years. Close friends of mine, actually, and yeah, it's fantastic to still maintain that relationship with them. And you're in for a treat today. You've got another workshop tour. It's going to be a really special one, both for me and for Alex and all the guys at the Vault. And we really hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Let's go and have a little look.
Morning, Arthur.
Good to see you. How's things?
Thank you for joining us today.
No worries. Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Nice to be back at the Vault.
Yeah,
how's
it's been
things
a while,
doing?
hasn't it? No, very, very good.
Awesome.
Very, very good.
So as I was sort of saying to the guys earlier on, we've known you guys and worked with you for years now. Known you personally for a long time. That's a really good friend
about 15,
of mine.
I think you joined me on.
Yeah, exactly.
As an irritating little Saturday boy who
We've come a long way.
graduated.
We have. But how about we hear a little bit from you about the Vault and some of your establishment here and what you guys get up to.
Okay, yes. So the Vault is workshop and storage, primarily for cherished cars. We don't really limit ourselves just to classics, sports cars, that sort of thing. We're quite accommodating, as you'll see in a minute, of just about everybody. If you love your car, you want to be here.
Yeah, very nice. Let's start to move through and see what you guys are getting up to. Awesome.
Follow me.
So we're now in, I'm right in saying this is primarily your bay.
Yeah, so this is kind of bay one. I tend to get the mucky stuff. So the wax, if there's any wax oiling to be done, it tends to be done
very nice.
This side and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
But this is a really good example of the kind of stuff that we do. I've got a real soft spot for TVRs. We're trying to introduce some quality. I think
TVRs naturally sort of lacked a lot of that, didn't they?
Well,
factory,
I always admired them for being really plucky.
Yeah,
they had
character.
They probably did the best of any of the small British car builders in having a go.
Yeah, and building something ultimately really cool.
And they did build quite a lot of them. They did succeed until they didn't.
There was a line. Yeah.
And this is one of the last kind of really good ones. The Tamora to me has always been the prettiest.
Yeah.
I know the Sagaris is quite revered, but this to me is about as good as it gets.
I love the Sagaris.
I do, but I think this is a bit more elegant.
Yeah,
I love
refined.
the styling.
Yeah,
I always have. So when our client turned up to see us and he said, I've got one of these, but I don't like the poor quality bits. I'd like you guys to introduce some quality. And we had a discussion with him around. He was taken aback for a while, I think, about how limitless the options are.
Yeah.
What does optimize your car mean? Well, it does mean bringing them up to a next level. The scope of that extends to things like the inlet plenum.
Yeah.
Here, when I made this, I took inspiration from the original PI inlet plenum.
Yeah.
We had a big, ugly fiberglass thing.
Big bulky box thing on that.
Yeah, and not a feature. At best, it was not a feature.
No.
And we've at the customers after discussion with him, the orange-blue contrast was something we really wanted to play on.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to get rid of that bulky inlet plenum and replace it with something a bit more elegant. There was another reason for that too. Digressing slightly, but the engines on these cars only last about 30,000 miles. And one of the reasons for that is that the air for the intake is drawn from the floor of the car, which is exactly where you don't want it to be.
Water and muck and puddles and crap.
Well, imagine if you drove through a 6-inch puddle.
Yeah, you're gone. That's the end of that.
So it's constantly being fed with the dirtiest air possible. So we brought that up. We've got vents in the bonnet here, so we'll have nice cold air intake. We've got rid of the original arrangement. We then extended. We're not finished here by any means. We've got to get rid of we replace all the clips with stainless. We'll have a discussion with him about whether we go for silicone hoses, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Really brighten it up, really, like you say, optimise and refine. And,
exactly.
Really improve such a And it goes fantastically well with the car because it is bright, it punches you in the face, it looks great. That's what a TVR does.
They're supposed to be wild.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
supposed to be wild.
Yeah.
So yes, let's cover it in orange.
Let's do that.
And this is also a good example of a car that works well, the collaboration between the two of us, because you will, in time, get the job of repainting it. And he will probably go equally
some sort of chameleon.
Wild.
I remember we had a brief discussion with him, and he sort of mentioned his interest in one of the chameleon colours that TVR do, and sort of like a neochrome style colour shift sort of thing. So that, our work's there with everything you've done and continuing to do on this will make for a really, really cool Tamora.
I think so. He wants it to be an art piece. He wants it to have the wow factor in all respects. You want to pop the bonnet and have that sharp intake of breath.
Yeah.
And you guys will have the job of making sure that the outside looks as good as the mechanicals.
We're looking forward to it.
We've also done the suspension. So we went through all the bushes.
Same orange?
Yes, exactly the same orange. We were very particular about carrying that orange theme because in time it will extend through the interior.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to be 50 shades of orange. You pick one colour that you can work with well.
Yeah.
So we had all the suspension powder coated. We got rid of the bushes, all of which are at least 20 years old. Lots of them were perished. You had a kind of sloppy feel to the car when he was driving it that we will get rid of. We didn't go for polyurethane bushes.
Right.
There's not enough rubber in the bushes, so much so that if you went for poly, it would be like a go-kart.
Yeah, there would be no suspension at all, and
you're not looking for
what
refinement.
spine you had left, you wouldn't.
Would be
anymore.
gone. No, your fillings would be out. So that's what we're going for with this car, and I'm very, very pleased with how it's coming along.
It's going. It's certainly looking the part, and it's nice to see you guys crack on. Yeah, like you say, it'd be great to have it in the booth and stick some paint on it. But I love these things. It's really, really cool. They look fantastic and proper wow factor from it.
Well, I had a wedge for a while.
Yeah.
Quite unloved by anybody but me. I thought it was fantastic. It responded really well to being clouted with a hammer whenever everything stopped working. It's my kind of car, really.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the ownership of it, the experience. It did turn some heads.
It's a driver's car. It really is.
It's a lunatic driver's
Your
car.
lunatic driver's well, it drives you.
Yeah, you hang on for dear life. It's like those mechanical bulls.
It's just like one of them. Yeah.
So this is our kind of speciality. Is adding. We can make what you want. It's lovely to work with people who own these kind of cars because they're just enjoying it, and we respect that.
Enthusiasm that you can get. I mean, some customers are as enthusiastic about a project as us, and you bounce ideas off each other all the time. It's
a lovely dynamic.
It's collaborative. It's really, really great.
I like building those relationships.
Yeah, likewise.
Goes a long way.
It really does. It really does. Awesome. That's really, really cool. Well, you've got bays 2 and 3, and let's go and
take a look. Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. A little bit of background on that photo there. No, it looks very, very familiar.
So that would have been about 1996, 98, something like that, I imagine. That's the workshops where I started. I'm not the one in the middle, I'm the one on the right. And, my dearly departed dad has got a lot to answer for, really. He is essentially the reason that I have the passion for cars that I do. And his speciality was always the Triumph TR6, which is, my fondness for them is not really rooted in anything logical. They just have this draw for me. It takes me right back to that time in my life. The most significant, the most significant memories in my life all involve Dad and usually involve a TR6. So it was natural, I suppose, that we were always going to end up doing something with them.
Let's go and have a look at a TR. Yeah, let's do it.
So this one is at the tail end of a rebuild that started with you, actually. You might have painted this one, I'm not sure.
It might have been so long ago, I don't know if I can remember.
I think you certainly did the satin black back panel. You certainly did that.
Certainly did that.
I couldn't swear that you did the top coat on it might have been one of the other guys there. But it started there, and we've had the pleasure of kind of finishing it here. It's a deep recommissioning after 20 years off the road. We're carrying out some final tweaks to carburetors. We're probably going to put a pair of SUs on there.
Nice.
We've dispensed with at the customer's request, dispensed with the original mechanical fuel injection, and gone for carbs for reliability. Really, he doesn't want to be maintaining it for the rest of his life.
No,
it's
he wants
not
to drive
part
it,
of his enjoyment
use it.
of the car, so he just wants to
Hop in it and go.
enjoy it. Other thing, I mean, we've rebuilt most mechanical aspects of the car since
Yeah.
it's been here: brakes, suspension, steering, interior.
Interior is gorgeous.
It
And
is.
The soft top is absolutely
So
fantastic.
they were both bespoke to the chap, though, to his spec.
Yeah.
We can do that within our kind of wider network, and we picked the colour of the soft top to complement the Old English white, which was a non-standard colour for the car, and mirrored it throughout the interior. The dashboard is kind of a one-off.
Yeah.
It was again spec to his own sort of whims.
Requirements, as it were. Yeah.
We can do that, you know, it's a pleasure to be able to do it on a car that I genuinely have so much affection for.
Yeah, I can see the draw that they give you, and
It's not logic that
No.
we own. That we do it stuff.
There's no logic
people own
behind it
these.
at all.
No, you do it for the love.
Yeah.
You know, this chap has had it since the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It was the current car. It was. You imagine a 10-year-old car now. There's still lots of them on the road. There were still lots on the road then.
Then yeah.
So he's been through the kind of cycle when it was not a classic, a kind of at the bottom of the bell curve, and now
they're coming back up again.
Well, they've peaked, I think, but I hope to be proved wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think like any classic car, you know, they'll excuse me, they'll always fluctuate, but you're not going to go down, are you? You know, there's no downward.
It's a safe place.
Yeah,
It's a safe
certainly
place.
is a very safe place.
And we managed to keep the cost of the renovation within the value of the car.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, debatably a cost-effective move as well.
As
As well as
cars-
picking out details that he liked. You know,
Yes.
in the course of the recommissioning, we were able to, he loves the blue Old English white contrast.
Pinstripe that matches the soft top.
By hand in
Yes,
enamel.
Gorgeous.
So that's quite nice. Wheel centres, they would always have been red. We
Yeah.
had him some made in
In
blue.
blue.
Quite a nice touch.
Very pretty.
Same with the TR6 emblem on the rear quarter at the back.
There's the little details that for me on this that really set it off.
bring it to life.
It
don't
does,
they?
yeah. Really, it's like a bow tie on a suit. Really, just
Yeah.
neatens it up.
It's like a red bow tie on a
Like
black
a-
suit. It just gives you a little bit of
of
something,
an edge.
a little
Yeah.
bit of an edge, or a fancy pair of socks or something.
Yeah. That's really nice.
So it's been a pleasure. It really has been a pleasure to bring this to life for him, and we're
It's not far off.
99% of the way through.
Yeah. Awesome.
We've also got it within our skill set, within our team, which has grown a little bit, and it means we can deal. We're not afraid of dealing with what is a very complicated car in comparison to some of the stuff from the 70s and the 80s.
Certainly less mechanical.
Yeah, lots of, and the mechanical stuff will all be fine, if you know what I mean. It's kind of, it's the electrical stuff that will let it down. It's the water ingress on a convertible that ultimately, very nearly, denigrated this car to being a parts car.
Yeah.
And what we feel that we've done over the past week or so
Save it from that.
is save it from that.
Yeah.
You know, its value to the owner is that he can use it. It's his summertime fun car.
Yeah.
Or it's not.
Or it's
and
not.
we are the difference.
Yeah.
That's been
That's
a
it.
pleasure.
That's an excellent way of putting it. And to be able to, again, it all falls back to that customer relations thing. And if you can give that to a customer, I mean, pretty chuffed, aren't they?
Well, he's a new client.
Good.
It's been lovely to get to know him and his network. And again, we feel that we've really made the difference. It's kind of been elsewhere. There's a common theme with that things go elsewhere and they don't
get done
quite get
properly.
there.
Yeah.
And they do when they come to us.
Yeah.
We're going to pair of these, and nobody else in the country will ever have a pair of these sitting side by side. These are Spectres. They've been, one of them, the blue one in particular, has been a long, probably the biggest project that we've done so far in our life. When we started in December 2023, we brought it back from the brink. It was a box of bits with and such a rare car. I think there's debate on how many they actually made. It was low 20s, I think.
Right. Wow.
And we think there's 6 left.
And there's 2 here.
And one of the, there's 3 of these made.
Right.
2 of them I think are up together, but one of them is on the road, and it's this one.
Yeah.
This was their second model.
Yeah.
But their first model was the R42.
Yeah.
Continuation of the GT40, really, in the Ray Christopher's mind, who designed it.
Wow.
And this one was, millions of pieces. No schematic, no Bible, no Haynes manual.
No. Just a box of bits.
Just a box of bits and a car, and we built a British supercar.
Well done.
Out of it.
Yeah.
And again, we are 99. We're there, really. I mean, they're both MOT'd. This one the yellow one had some less intense works. We were struggling to get it through emissions on the MOT. So we managed to find some catalytic converters that were the right spec. Not easy. Managed to find 4 lambda sensors of the right spec. Not easy.
There's
Grafting the whole lot.
there.
No, we don't seem to do the easy stuff.
No.
Well, we'd like to do the easy stuff.
Make everything a lot easier.
Every now and then we're able to do the easy stuff, but we find creative solutions to impossible problems. That's a fairly common theme for what we do as well.
Excellent.
So this, straight through MOT, no issues at all. Ditto that one. We put the final sort of finishing touches around the interior, stereo, cubby hole. Things moved on from when this was made. You might want somewhere to store your mobile phone that you wouldn't have had in 1996. No. So we kind of facilitated a lot of that as well.
That's really nice. Really cool.
I mean, been great fun.
They're a proper machine. There's nothing about it that screams subtle, and there's nothing about it that screams any real sort of comfort. It's low, slow.
Well, it was supposed to be comfortable. When they were made.
Yeah.
The tagline was "race car in a dinner jacket," and I think we've brought that back to life for him.
That's lovely. Really nice.
Cool.
The gauges are fantastic.
Shall we have a look at the third?
Let's
bay?
do it. There's more.
We did a little bit with Radio Suffolk earlier in the year, and the line I'd kind of come up with then was the Hilton Hotel for cars.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really have put it any better. Some of the cars are here for lots of different reasons. Most people who like cars have got one more than they've got room for. I think you've got one more than you've got room for.
Let's not start pointing fingers here. I think we're focusing on one topic.
But you get the idea, and Alex and I, 2 Alexes, I do recall an evening in 2023. Alex not always in the country. He was over here for a period of time. Wanted to take one of the cars out for a run, and of his collection, none of them were quite ready to go to make it to an event, which you could say was the acorn for the storage proposition, that we can maintain. Everything in here starts. It's dehumidified. It's all risks insured. They're all on C-Tex. They're all under soft covers. We've got a broad range of cars here. It's not exclusive. Some of them are here because they want their investment protected. Some of them are here because they care about their car and they're not worried about the investment. But ultimately, if you put a cover over your car on your driveway, it's a bad idea. If you don't put a cover on your car on your driveway, it's a bad idea. The most expensive way to store your car is badly. The deterioration can cost you thousands, and we offer you a route out of that. Here on site in a building that's manned.
Fully secure.
I can be here from my home in minutes. It's grade 1 police response on the alarm system. Fort Knox.
It is. Like
safe,
you say,
sound, secure.
Hilton Hotel and Fort Knox in one.
That's what we're hoping for.
With some beautiful cars. And
yes.
What a fantastic place to be able to, I suppose, show your customers, because it's quite a premises to be able to say, look, we can take care of it. This
Yeah.
is, it's about as appetising as it
And we
can
know
get.
how to take care
Yeah,
of it. You know,
precisely.
you've got the two complement each other,
Yeah.
the workshop and the storage proposition. You've got both elements here. What happens with quite a few of them, you know, the cars will land here with a list.
Yeah.
Would you mind getting that done by April? So if they drop them off in October, would you mind getting that done by April so I can pick it up and use it for the summer? That
Yeah.
happens fairly regularly.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. It's yeah, like I say, a garage away from home that customers can just come and
Easy.
I'll pick it up.
Should be very
Away we go.
easy for us to use, for us to, we make life easy for you. The whole point is to allow you to enable you to build the relationship back up with your car that you might have lost when it languishes in a garage under
a cover.
You know,
and
the
gets used as a
temptation is to
shelf or-
stack boxes on it, and it's
Yeah.
just, no,
Yeah.
let's not.
Let's look after it. Let's put it in here, and I mean, at least they've got a lot of company when they do come. They're
Nothing's
making a
getting
lot of
lonely.
friends.
And, you know, it's low traffic, low volume. You guys are the only people who've been in here, apart from us.
I get
all
VIP
week.
treatment.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Very, very nice. Well, I think that sort of wraps us up, really, doesn't it?
Well, it's great to see you, mate.
Yeah, you
It
too,
really is.
man.
Thanks
Yeah,
for dropping
really
in.
good.
And good to show
Thanks
you
for
around.
having
It's
us.
changed a bit since you were here.
It is. I mean,
last.
you know, it's great to see that you guys are sort of flourishing, how this place changes, and you've got some fantastic people in there, great team, and yeah, it's amazing.
We're evolving quite
to
quickly. You know,
what
I think
you
we've
do.
had another ramp in since you were here. I think John has joined us, who brings this wealth of expertise on the more modern cars. You know,
Yeah.
he is to Bentley Continentals and things like that, what I am to TR6s with cars.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we've really broadened the spectrum of cars that we can cope with.
That's
And
really what makes it.
it now enables us to be here for everyone as well. We can lend our engineering skills to
It's accommodation all round.
everyday cars as well, and you know that they're being looked after properly. So if you care about your car, come here.
Come here.
No, it's
Fantastic.
good to see you.
Yeah,
But
you
thanks
too.
for giving me the opportunity.
No, pleasure. Absolutely. Always happy to help, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Really. So
Look forward to it.
take care.
Take
Cheers,
care.
Alex. Thanks a lot.